Now, if you want to respect, my content is not for everyone. And I say that respectfully. It's not, and that's okay. No, it's straight on me, goddamn. My content is not for everyone, and that's okay. No, for real, it really isn't. There's no need to bring your blood pressure up, sending me all this negative energy in the day. You could go watch somebody else that truly entertains you, and I say that respectfully. Because my content is not for everyone, neighbor. To the genuine ones with no malicious intentions, I truly hope all is well in your end, and I truly hope that you continue to find peace within regards to who gave up on you or overlooked you during your journey. You matter and you are worthy. Regards to who gave up on you, overlooked you during your journey, made you feel like you wasn't worthy, overflowed the wrong cup, they disrespect you out loud, they want to take your kindness to weakness, destroy your character, but you are somebody at the end of the day. Always be yourself, and especially when you don't got malicious intentions. Healing trauma and pain is not a race or an overnight process, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. Entertainment purposes only, and I say that respectfully. I don't mean no disrespect in no shape or form, and I say that respectfully. And another TMI. Hello, neighbor. I don't drink or smoke, and I say that respectfully, and I don't do any substance. Hello. Today is currently May 18th, 2025, and it's currently 12:44 p.m. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater, what about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater, what about you? No, it's a train of thought for me. Self-respect, hold low 1 second, neighbor. They try to dim your light, try to discourage you. They said that you ain't got potential, but you truly wasn't the issue. Love yourself, not to dim your light. Love yourself, not to dim your light. Elevate, catch your blessings. Elevate, catch your blessings. Entertainment purpose only. And I say that respectfully. No, entertainment only. What the hell is wrong with people? I'm from New York City or whatever the case may be. When you go to certain area codes or whatever case it be, different the boroughs or whatever the case may be, strolling around and stuff, you see certain psychic, mediums or whatever the case may be, signs all across the border. No, and shake on me. One thing about a motherfucking New Yorker, we not going in there. No, the fuck we not. Are you stupid, dumb, or fucking retarded? No, that's what they trying to throw for me. That's like going to a new church at the end of the day just to be like your conscience, along your eyesight. No, that's the trade throw for me. Hold on 1 second. I understood my work, I understand my value. I was not trying to shortchange myself when it comes to my mental health. No, for real, bro. When you're from New York City or whatever case to be, you go into certain areas or whatever case may be, and you see it says, walk in at your own risk. No, for real. You see the palms or whatever the case may be, they be like, come, let me read your palms. Come, let me read your palms. Not today, bitch. Have a nice day. I got a special 3-card flip or whatever case it be, $2.99 a piece. That's not a special, bitch. It's a shake off me. You trying to make me feel special? I didn't sign up for your one-sided ass conversation. No, for real. When you from New York City, it's just certain things you just don't motherfucking do. And that's go into a psychic room. You know what I'm saying? You see what those rooms down in the village or whatever case may be? It's a lot of the motherfuckers around here. No, for real. When you motherfucking know, you motherfucking know. You got that one dumbass friend that just wants to experiment some shit. And once they take their dumb ass in there and they trying to grab you to go in, no, we gonna be right here. When you come back out, we gonna be the same. No, it's a trade off because your mindset gonna be all the way fucked up. No, it's a trade off me. This motherfucker go in there, whatever the case may be, go pay their little $20, whatever the case may be, because they gave him a little deal. And I guess it got more good than good because someone started to spill. No, it's a trade off me. This motherfucker come out, whatever the case may be. My life changed forever. What happened? It's shake over me. I really don't want to know, but I really don't give a fuck either. But what happened? No, it's really shake over me. This motherfucker come out and start saying, I gotta be aware of my surroundings. Wait, what? We didn't even do shit to you, you dumbass. It's shake over me. If anything, we gotta watch your ass now. No, for real. It's really shake over me. Only to come to find at the end of the day, this motherfucker was so paranoid between paranoid because in the day, this motherfucker done paid almost $100 just to get a car pulled. And nothing about their motherfucking life change. What the fuck? How does that work? No, for real. Because when you go into the wrong motherfucking person's hands at the end of the day, you gonna be stuck at your own fucking pockets, along your train thought, along your mental health. They're gonna be like, you need to go to the site, but what the fuck is wrong with that bitch? It's a train thought for me. He told you not to go in there. My content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. I do not worship the devil good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater, what about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater, what about you? It says you was a crash out, neighbor, 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 you was a crash out. They wanted you to be a crash out. Only to understand, hold on 1 second. You had all the wrong people around you when it comes to elevation. Neighbor, 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 you were just in your own lane. Respecting your neighbor, good day, bad day, misunderstanding day. You almost got lost in your words because you don't understand your own faith. Dealing with trauma and pain, they would never understand how you almost relapsed that day and it was truly real that day. Wow. Everybody doesn't pray the same. They said don't call on God if you're not ready. They said don't call on God if you're not ready. They said don't call on God if you're not ready. They said don't call on God if you're not ready. It was a point in your life you feel like God wasn't in existence. Had you truly bent out of shape, didn't understand your own existence. Picking up a bottle right to left, didn't matter if it was dark or white. It'd be the train of thought for you when it come to your mental health. How you had all the wrong people around you. They only wanted to shortchange when it came to your pockets, mentally abuse you, physically, emotionally. Hold on 1 second, they said you was truly unstable. But you were still the same person, regardless if you was intoxicated or not that day. You had a little too much in your body that day. Had to go get rushed to the ER. Only to realize the hold on 1 second. You didn't reject yourself another day because hold on 1 second. God will sleep by your side. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. Imagine everybody being around you. Only to psych you at your pockets just to abuse you. Only when you get a little drink in your body. They want to talk about you like a bad habit. Only to realize the hold on 1 second. You wasn't trying to catch a case. How they try to blackmail you right to left. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. You trying to figure out how do you heal to go within and understand the pain. The only thing that you know how to cope is a substance. Only the rest of hold on 1 second, they would never understand your mental health. That you still the same person. It'd be the train of thought for me. You didn't want to lose yourself because someone overlooked you. They rejected you when it was actually beneficial. It'd be the train of thought for me how this type of stuff actually happens. They said God ain't real, but God was really keeping it real. Who would have known that God allows you to heal? Confirmation. 9910 was your emergency. Somebody screaming, help, 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 help. Help, 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 help. What you mean help? What happened? Imagine being around a group of people only to leave you stranded. Only to realize they shortchange you when it comes to your mental health. They didn't give a fuck about you. It be the train of thought for me. I don't mean no disrespect, but this type of stuff actually happens when it comes to functions. How you leave with people when you hold on 1 second. How you supposed to leave with people, but they shortchange you. They rob you right to left, trying to paint you out to be the villain in their story, or because they decide to put something in your drink that day. Damn, your life would never be the same ever again because you ain't gonna look at these folks. Hold on 1 second. Regardless if it was family or not, associate, neighbor, co-worker, how they try to reject you because you was willing to show up to have a good time, only to realize the hold on 1 second. Now you trying to recognize who you truly are at the end of the day in the ER. How this type of stuff actually happens. Everybody's walk of life when it comes to what they've been through is not the same. And I say that respectfully, or because hold on 1 second, you truly had a bad habit. You was trying to kick it. You don't even conserve that type of stuff every single day. They would never understand your emotions. You had a good time. That's what you thought you was doing. Only to realize the hold on 1 second, they pumping your stomach. It be the train of thought for me, asking God to please help you, guide you to better days ahead. Only rest the hold on 1 second. You always have potential, becoming your best self, vision of yourself. You know, certain people actually happens to this. It's certain people that actually have this type of stuff actually happens to this. You know, when they get lost in their words, it could be an EMS worker, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, a therapist, someone that you actually love. It didn't matter their job description at the end of the day, regardless to their pockets. Hold on 1 second. Didn't matter the hold on 1 second. They thought they was leaving their pain at home. It be the train of thought for me. How folks can dead ass do you wrong. Try to blackmail you right to left. Imagine having a good time going out with your own bottle, only for them to shortchange you of your bottle. Only for you to be going to get your next bottle. Everybody not trying to put dibs on it. Only the rest of hold on 1 second. Now, this is truly personal. No, I checked over. You ain't you fucking bad at somebody. No, I don't. I just mind how this type of stuff actually happens. Folks get a little greedy because you got a little couple dollars in your pockets and you ain't trying to spare. It be the train of thought for me, how they try to line you up to suck at your free will. You be so surprised who sent them that day. It be your own family trying to shortchange you when it come to your self-love. Only the rest of hold on 1 second, you was never a criminal. Imagine defending yourself when you intoxicated, only for someone to say, hold on 1 second, you incompetent. They said that you slow, stupid, and retarded. Try to get you locked up, put you in a sideboard, or because you spoke up for yourself because you didn't have ill intentions. The energy is different. Everybody's walk of life ain't the same when you overcome pain. Trauma, who would have knew that would have been endured in you that day? Traumatized, like right there, like damn, I don't want to drink no more. How this type of stuff actually happens. You ain't doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. You understood that barbecue that day, having a good time. Had a little burger, had a little drink, or whatever the case may be. Only to realize you just caught a case, or because someone truly had malicious intentions the whole entire time. They had jealousy and envy in their eyes. And hold on 1 second, and not one lie was told. Hold on 1 second. Certain folks that you was bugging, you was tripping, you overthinking. But someone truly had hidden agendas, only to find out everybody was plotting against you. All because of the fact that you knew how to keep it real and you was truly official. Didn't matter if you had a car or walking on 2 feet. At the end of the day, everybody put respect on your name until, hold on 1 second, so that one day had to get physical. They had to jump you because of the fact that, hold on 1 second, they didn't want you to become your best self, vision of yourself. They couldn't wait till you get intoxicated because that was the only time they saw that you was truly vulnerable. How this type of stuff actually happens. How this type of stuff actually happens. Everybody's story ain't the same. But overcoming pain, who would have knew? That would have been endured in you. Imagine not being a drinker, putting a little substance in your body that day. Or because you had a bad phone call, only to realize you became an addicted. You became an addicted. It became an addiction to you. You even got lost in your own words, like, damn, what am I doing? I just wanted a little drink. I ain't know it's going this far. How you lost everything right to left. Only the rest of hold on 1 second. Where did I go wrong? Everybody's walk of life ain't the same. There's certain folks that will never understand that, hold on 1 second, I just want to change. They talk about it whole day, but they don't put that footwork in. They so scared and fear, because certain folks overlook them, don't even hear them. Imagine being rejected by the folks that you chilled with, put money in their pocket, only for you to realize that, hold on 1 second, I wasn't trying to lose me. I just want the right people in my life to put me in the right direction. The energy is different. It starts with me, but at the end of the day, but goddamn, why you had to use me. How this type of stuff actually happens. Imagine showing up for people and they so invested into you. They make it seem like they're so invested into you, only to verbally, physically, emotionally abuse you. It's some pretty decent, good people that put a drink in a system, and their life can change forever when they least expect it. That split of a second, a altercation can happen. Shit got ugly so fast, like goddamn. I wish I had self-control when it came to discipline. I don't even act like that on a regular day. It be the train of thought for me. Or imagine trying to stick up for yourself and folks got the narrative of controlling your situation, only to paint you out to be the villain when you telling a true story. It be the train of thought for me how this type of stuff actually happens. Because folks don't want you to actually kick them down when they try to destroy you, when you actually wearing your crown. You even have to be so intoxicated. You probably just had one drink, hold on 1 second. You actually was still on the normal page that, hold on 1 second, I ain't truly wasted. How this type of stuff actually happens. My content is not for everyone. It's not. If someone didn't make it that day, got a family grieving over someone's baby, someone that actually loved that child, at the end of the day, you know that family that actually shows up good day, bad day, and misunderstanding day, or because someone lacks self-control, someone decided to hit somebody and they truly lost control, or because of jealousy and hate and envy. Imagine being called out to go to a party, only for someone to shortchange you when it comes to your mental health, all because of the fact that you know how to respect your neighbor. And they was having a bad day, so they try to psych at you free when it comes to your mental health, all because of the fact that you understood respect. You know, you show respect to everybody. Show everybody a good time. You know, you one of those type of people, whatever the case may be. Certain folks know your vocabulary, showing love. The energy is different even when you put a little couple of dollars in someone's pocket so they can go from point A to Z. Make sure they got food in their stomach. They wasn't empty. A little drink or two, whatever the case may be, make sure they comfortable. Imagine inviting someone to your event or just going out to have a good time, only to realize the hold on 1 second, you didn't make it home that day. How this type of stuff actually happens to an innocent person that can't tell their story. It'd be the train of thought for me. Now the family's in the ER trying to make arrangements to the funeral, only to realize the hold on 1 second. Their life will never be the same. Or because someone had jealous and hate and envy within them. The detective trying to figure out their train of thought, what's going on. Why you do this to this innocent person, only to realize the hold on 1 second. You try to catch somebody off guard because they was intoxicated that day. Now everybody's starting to speak up because everybody loves that person the most healthiest way. How this type of stuff actually happens. You got certain folks that will speak up and certain folks that will just overlook the situation because they ain't trying to be involved. But it was someone that actually spoke up because they couldn't digest that to understand their own mental health. Like, hold on 1 second, why me? Why me? Not only that was my friend, but that was somebody's child. Not only that was someone's child, that was somebody's loved one, and I wouldn't hope that happened to me. The energy is different, so I'm going to speak up. I don't care if they call me a snitch. Yeah, I'm telling. It'd be the train of thought for me, only to find out that someone tried to rob somebody that night. They took their phone, their wallet, or whatever the case may be, their jewelry, or because someone truly had jealousy and hate and envy within them. It'd be the train of thought for me. They almost took their sneakers. They left behind the jewelry because they didn't want to they didn't want it to make it seem so suspicious. But only to realize the hold on 1 second, the detective said, hold on 1 second. This is not the norm. Nobody should have to go out and have to be in a situation, being a victim because someone wanted to say something about their free will because of lack of self-control. It didn't matter if you had a substance in your body or not. How this type of stuff actually happens to innocent people. Someone lost their moms and their pops. Did they have to lose their mother and their father? No. But imagine just being a popular loner. Nobody hears you. They overlook you. Trying to express yourself to the wrong person. They trying to paint you out to be the issue. And you was never the villain in their story. How this type of stuff truly happens. Walking these streets alone every single day. Had an addiction problem. Certain folks was able to tell, but certain folks wasn't. You trying to go from point A to Z to get your life together. Trying to go into this program, trying to go into that program. But you feel like it's just a waste of time because ain't nothing that's working for you. Every time you express yourself to somebody, at the end of the day, overlooking you. They said they're here to help, but hold on 1 second, they truly reject you. Then you get that one caseworker that say, I got your back, or whatever the case may be. Then sit there and say, I got too many other cases. You need to come back. Not only do you need to come back, you need to get your life together. But everybody's trauma and pain ain't the same. Imagine being essayed and nobody hears you. Imagine being a victim, seeing someone do a heinous crime right before your eyes. Someone died right in your hands. And nobody would understand what you're actually going through mentally. You wasn't doing it for likes and views when you spoke up for yourself that day. You started to become numb because nobody hears you. You walk in these streets alone, look like a bum, right to left. Folks to do you wrong. Every little time you get a little couple of dollars in your pocket, thinking your life is getting better, everything is just still falling apart. You get into a relationship, all they want to do is bug you out, shortchange you when it comes to your pockets, paint you out to be an unstable fit person. Or because of the fact that you trusted the wrong person, how this type of stuff actually happens. They sat there and made you feel like you were supposed to be okay to love somebody properly. Hold on 1 second. Being vulnerable became a case. Or because someone wanted to project lust on you. You try to get your life together only for someone to do you wrong. And you started to give up on yourself even more. How this type of stuff actually happens. It does. Somebody became a victim at a very young age. Somebody snipped something in somebody's drink. And someone would never be the same when it comes to their mental health. They was a straight A student. They was somebody's baby. Only for certain folks to overlook that baby. Nobody to protect that baby's mental health. That baby was thrown out to the streets. Only for pain to be more projected on them. That didn't matter if it was a dude or a chick that day. Crying out for help. Folks overlooking them. It'd be the train of thought for me how this type of stuff actually happens. It does. Because of jealousy and hate and envy. Being around the wrong person. People will act like they so for you. And they'll be quick to put something in your drink. Or let alone your food. And then sit there and say that you're emotionally unstable. Or they sit there and say that you're crazy, slow, stupid, and retarded. How you bugged out now. Because that's the picture that they painted for you. For you to become your own worst enemy. Something that you couldn't relate to was going within. Because you and Kimberly unbalanced. Emotionally unstable. Don't even know how to control your own emotions. How this type of stuff actually happened to innocent people. Didn't matter the age nowadays, and I say that respectfully. How this type of shit is truly getting out of hand. It really is. Because someone thinking they're hanging out with the right folks, only to realize that, hold on 1 second, someone just laced you, and you wasn't doing it for likes and views or clout chasing, you damn sure wasn't acting. That energy is different. They would never understand that, hold on 1 second, it was never competition when it comes to healing. The doctor trying to figure out your mental health, trying to diagnose you, and that's all they keep doing is giving you a substance. That's all they keep doing is giving you a substance. It's even making you more unbalanced. Because whatever's endured within your body is still haven't left you. Now your brain cells all over the place. Can't even recognize who you are when it comes to your name. That's how the enemy wanted to paint you out that day. For you to catch your case, how this type of stuff actually happens when you didn't have to get physical. When someone looked like you the competition when you was never competing. And you was never the issue. All because you was truly beautiful. You had a heart. You actually knew how to respect folks around you. You carried yourself decent. You probably was a little more gifted than the next person. Certain folks just showed you genuine love. They was actually respect you. Only to realize, hold on 1 second, you would never be the same love. How this type of stuff actually happens. It does. He said, don't call on God when you're not ready. They said God ain't real. But who would have knew that someone's life would have changed forever? You know, when you're an addict, they say that you can't be around certain substance and stuff like that. When you become mentally more stronger, you could be around people who drink, you could be around people who smoke, and it doesn't bother you at all. It takes a brave person to say, you know what? I have control over my life. Regardless to who paints a narrative on my life. My past is not showing up in my presence today. But one thing I'm never going to do is run from who I became. That is just different. Because if you didn't have a past, it wouldn't allow you to see who the woman or man that you became. I may not make sense to you, but I make sense to someone actually understands me. And I say that respectfully. And healing trauma and pain is not an easy process, and it's not a race. Because someone right now that never even picked up a drink ever in their life, something went from not being familiar to becoming familiar. And it became something added towards their diet every single day. And when it becomes added towards your diet. Some people lose balance when it comes to self-control of the substance. Some people lose themselves forever. And some people just do it occasionally. It's different levels. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure. I know how to respect my neighbor, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And when you're a leader, you don't look at someone else's struggle like competition. You don't look at someone else's pain like competition. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, and I say that respectfully. It's somebody that's dealing with an addiction right now, regardless to what substance it is. And they get overlooked every single day. It's one thing you hear someone saying, get your life together, get your life together, get your life together. Before that person actually picked up that bottle or picked up that substance that day, there's certain people that just needed someone to actually hear them, not to overlook them. Not meaning hold my hand, no, not saying that. Because that's not what certain individuals are looking for. Because when the right community is truly for you, they hear you, they see you, and they respect you. Just like when you go into a facility for recovery, they don't just throw you out to the wolves. They actually help you until you're mentally ready for the help that you actually need to be in society. And they give you the proper tools as to how you move forward with this journey of your healing journey when it comes to certain substances. Because there's certain people who say, I'm ready for change, I'm ready for change, I'm ready for change. And then when they say they're ready for change, they go into a facility or they stop doing the substance for so long, and then they relapse. They relapse because they're not mentally strong when dealing with certain conversations. They're not mentally strong or letting go of certain situations. They're not mentally strong as of yet. Hey, I have not started my healing journey. I'm still dealing with childhood trauma at my big grown adult age. I'm dealing with trauma at my youth age. And now childhood trauma goes into adulthood. It's so many people who lose their life every single day because they decided to say, hey, I want that, that dark of this. I want that light of this. Give me my little $3 of this. Give me my little pint of this. Put $5 on this. And they never healed. They're dealing with so many wounds that's open that they would never be able to express to certain people because they wear masks so well. They can smile all day long. And it's sad and disgusting to see how people overlook these behaviors. They do. Because now a person just became homeless. And certain individuals be like, oh, well, I want to get this person to help, but you're part of the problem. And especially when you're the part of the problem, you're projecting spell work on them. You're doing so much other stuff in the background towards an innocent person that you hide your hands. And then you're trying to paint somebody to be someone they truly not. Because they're trying to escape you and they don't know how to express themselves about you. And then the first time they say something to you regarding to how they feel, the first thing that someone wants to say is, someone needs to shut the fuck up. How this type of stuff actually happens. That's like being in an abusive relationship and you're trying to escape. And the only thing now you're feeding yourself to cope is a substance. And you're trying to deal with the fact that, okay, I want to let this person go, but as soon as I get a substance in myself, I start to look at the person differently. But as soon as they put their hands on me, now I want to run. How this type of stuff actually happens. Or you're dealing with childhood trauma. It went into your adulthood. how certain people get robbed for their heritage, or certain things happen in certain people's households, and they can't express themselves as to, I've been essayed, or I endured this type of pain, this happened to me at this point of age, because certain family members wear masks so well. And when you have when the outside world have conversations with them, the form of manipulation, the form of portrayal is real, because they don't want certain individuals to see the light of that person. How this type of stuff actually happens. It does. Now, this innocent person, they're not perfect. Now, this person is saying to themselves is, my voice does not matter. And because my voice doesn't matter, the only way for me to ease the pain, is for them to put a substance in their body, regardless if it's drinking or not. How this type of stuff actually happens. To cope. There's people who go to work under the influence, and it becomes the norm, because their body feeds off the substance. And because their body feeds off the substance, this is how they cope every single day. Every single day. My content is not for everyone. And it's so sad that somebody's child, regardless how old that baby is, not only was they around the wrong group of people, but the supplier as well decided to say, you know what, I don't care about your life. And because I don't care about your life, society doesn't care about you either. But that's not true. Because there's a community that actually cares about individuals, and they don't have the mindset of having jealousy and hate and envy within them. And they don't have the mindset of projecting spur towards innocent individuals, regardless of their circumstances and their mental health, what they're going through today. They would never sit there and project spell work towards somebody. They would never sit there and blackmail somebody because, hey, you have a past, as well as I have a past. I'm not perfect, but at the same time, too, you was brought into my life for the right reasons, and I'm not here to kick you down. I'm not here to blackmail you. I'm not here to use you against you because you're expressing yourself to me. How this type of stuff actually happens. The opposite way around. How you can walk into someone's life and ask for help, right? And they use you against you because of the fact that you was being vulnerable. You was expressing yourself, and you thought that it was okay, to say, I'm going through this in my life. I'm going through this in my life. I'm going through whatever it is that you're going through mentally in your life. Only for it to get overlooked because now you became a documentation for somebody. And because you became a documentation for somebody, now they want to lock you or put you in the sideboard. Now they want to label you. In some situations, people get their children taken away from them. Because now someone is looking at someone as unfit. So, this type of stuff actually happens. It's a mother and father that drink occasionally. They don't drink every single day, but they drink occasionally. And they make sure their household is well kept. They may be behind a bill or two, but they make sure that the roof over their head, that them kids have food in the fridge. They make sure they make a way to get food in that fridge. And they're not out here psyching people at their free will. And they love their children, because not all parents love their children. But there are parents, a good group of people who do love their children, regardless to good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. There's parents who had a upbringing of not having that role model in the household. There's a parent that had struggles with raising a child. But one thing's for certain, two things for sure, regardless of how old that child is, and when that child gets into the real world, that mother and that father still got that child's back. Not everybody has that mindset when it comes to being a parent. And I don't mean no disrespect in no shape or form, because my content is not for everyone. There's a mother that's right now grieving, a father right now that's grieving. Regardless if he was incarcerated or not, regardless if that mother was incarcerated or not, they still showed up for their children. And to find out that They wish that they can turn time around and be there every single day for that child, only for someone to take their child out their free will because of jealousy, hate, and envy. And someone decided to spike their child's drink. Someone decided to do something out of the norm because of the fact that everybody in the neighborhood or people in different communities love somebody. And that child wasn't doing it for likes and views or clout chasing. They wasn't acting. It was someone's reality. How this type of stuff actually happens. It doesn't matter about someone's community. How a mother and father has to grieve because of the fact that someone lacks self-control. Someone wanted to run. Someone decided, the money was more important than to actually save somebody's life. And then they sit behind closed doors and they laugh at this type of stuff. When they have these type of mindsets as to being the enemy or let alone being the devil. How this type of stuff actually happens. Imagine going to a supplier. Doesn't matter who it is, if it's a dispenser or not. Because what happens is, it could be a dispenser you go to. It could be somebody that works there and has so much hate and envy within them, and they see you walking in the door. They see you walking in the door. And they go up to the next customer service, say, I got this one. They're telling the representative, their employee, I'll take care of this person myself. Only for them to do some malicious intentions towards an innocent person. How this type of stuff actually happens. It's so many untold stories and it's so disgusting. Now someone's life just changed because of the fact that someone lacked self-control, or because someone was jealous and envious of somebody's life. Someone had a beautiful heart within. Regardless of their features on the outside, it started within. Now someone is dealing with the fact that their child would never be the same ever again. They know their baby's not crazy. That's their baby. So now moving forward, they gotta protect their baby even more. How this type of stuff actually happens. Just because it's not happening in your household, it's happening in someone else's household. And because it's happening in someone else's household, that person wasn't doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. They didn't say, hold on, I want to get up today and psych myself out of my own mental health. They didn't say that. They didn't say, I'm going to go buy a bottle of water and I want to psych myself out of my mental health. How a man or a woman just got out of an unhealthy relationship. An unhealthy relationship, or let alone a divorce, you put a name in your book. Only for their life not to be the same ever again. Because everybody doesn't go down the same route. They don't. Some people go down a route where they're so stressed out, they start to pick up addictions because maybe you was in a relationship with somebody that had an addiction. Or maybe you just picked up the addiction on your own. Or you picked up the addiction because of your upbringing. This type of stuff actually happens. Going from having a good, decent job, making really good money. Really good money. Had the family, the house, only for someone to come in and take everything from you. Only for someone to blackmail you when it came to that good paying job. Or for someone to come in and take your kids away from you and say that you was mentally unstable to take care of your own kids. Because that stuff actually happens. Like a mother or father will lose their mind if something like that actually happens. And they can't get their child back because the way the system is built. Now they become addicts. You know, everybody's walk of life ain't the same. Just because it's not happening in your household, it happened in someone else's household. It's happening in someone else's household. It's some people that gain custody back of their children, and there's some people that don't, and their life would never be the same. It won't. Now someone has an addiction on their back. They trying to kick this bad habit. And because they're trying to kick a bad habit, thinking you have the right people around you, only for them to rob you, try to shortchange you when it comes to your mental health, lie on you, blackmail you, get you locked up, or put you in a psych board. All this type of stuff actually happens. Being in an unhealthy relationship, and now someone's dealing with childhood trauma that they didn't overcome yet. Now they're dealing with trauma on top of trauma that went into their adulthood. And the coping process is not even the norm because they hurt themselves with words. They don't know the proper guidance because they don't have the proper guidance around them because they feel lost. You know, everybody picks up at a substance they actually had a life before it. It's always something that happened to someone before the substance. It's someone that was RAP'd from a child's point of view. And to cope with the nightmares and to cope with this and to cope with that, they turn to alcoholism. They turn to a substance so they be able to cope with life. Because they didn't have nobody to speak to. They didn't have someone they can trust. And now it became the norm because now they blocked out their old self. They're trying to fulfill shoes that they still continue to reject themselves because they don't know who they are. They don't know who they are and how this type of stuff actually happens. It does. You know, that childhood trauma, it went from childhood trauma and it went into the adulthood. It went from trauma on top of trauma, becoming numb. So when they look in the mirror today, it's like they don't even know who they are. They can't even actually say, I love myself. They can't even actually say, I am worthy. How this type of stuff actually happens. But when the right community is truly for you, they see you, they hear you, they respect you. They won't sit there and blackmail you because you're being you. And you don't have malicious intentions. And you don't have to act like somebody that you're truly not. Because it's not a joke to have a substance in your body that makes you chemically unbalanced. It's nothing funny or a joke about it when someone laces your drink or laces your substance. It's not. Because not everybody's mentally strong to understand the awareness of it. There's someone right now that's crying out for help. They got family around them. There's some people that don't got family around them. What am I doing wrong? I want to be on the right path, but what am I doing wrong? I said I want to quit this substance. But then you turn around and you pick up this substance about a month or two later. All because it's an urge. It became the norm. But you keep saying, I just want to get my life together. It don't start with nobody else, but it starts with you. But when you have the wrong people around you when it comes to certain energy, it drains you emotionally, physically. It drains you. And because it drains you, you don't even understand the copingsism of it. Because when you have the right people around you, that motivation hits different. It does. Not only it hits different because it's not someone that's holding your hand, but someone actually sees you, hears you, and respects you, and understands that, hold on one second, I'm not here to overlook you. I'm not here to reject you. You can sit down with a doctor, psychiatrist all day long, a therapist all day long. It's certain people that can't grasp what sitting down with somebody and expressing themselves to them. So certain individuals that can't sit down and talk to certain priests or certain people in certain areas because of the fact that I feel like I got something off my chest at the moment, but I still feel like, hold on one second, that still wasn't enough for me. I know there's somebody that I can actually speak to that can actually help me in my situation. I'm willing to put me first, but I just need to be guided in the right direction. That's how someone is truly feeling right now. And especially someone that says, hey, I want to break a generation curse. Because whatever's going on with me, it's been going on for so many years, after generation. It has to stop somewhere. It's somebody that just went to rehab. A mother, father, someone's uncle, grandpa, cousin, sister, brother, friend. It was a nice facility. It was a bad facility. Because everybody's experience is different. But someone got there and they took all their information, asked them about their whole life, decided to give them a diagnosis. Now they on meds before bedtime or whatever the case may be. And they left there and nothing changed. Their life did not change. Everybody's walk of life is not the same. It's not. Because someone decided to say, you know what, I'm going to go hang out with this group of family or that friend or whatever the case may be. They relapsed. Someone had the urge to say, you know what, I'm going to go to the store real quick. The store got, you know, nice sight view seating. Like, They relapsed. Someone got a bad phone call. They relapsed. Everybody's journey is not the same. It's only probably like a good 5% chance when somebody walks out of these facilities, their life actually changed. And they're not doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing. You can never say and tell somebody about an experience that you never experienced before. And especially when someone tries to lace you or just putting a substance in your body for so many years. And how people made you feel like you was wrong because you spoke up for yourself when it came to certain occasions. And they wanted to blackmail you as soon as you got a drink in your system. They wanted to rob you, they wanted to hurt you and all types of stuff. And especially when you're a good person. Because people use you when it's convenient for them. And as soon as you got a substance in your body, that's when it becomes convenient for them. I saw certain occasions where people do those disgusting stuff. How you can say that you associate yourself with somebody regardless to who it was. How someone will stand right in your face and think that you're drunk or you're under the influence and you hear everything. And this dummy sits there and tells their family member that, hey, we should rob them. We should bring harm towards them. And the family member's looking like, I didn't sign up for this conversation. And what you mean? I ain't know you operate like that. They confused. Is you under the influence? No, entertain on me. What the hell is wrong with people? How this type of stuff actually happens. It does. Imagine someone saying that, hey, come vent to me, only for them to use you against you. How this type of stuff actually happens. It does. There's people right now that's actually fighting for their life. It's the individuals that are coping with a substance problem. And because they're trying to cope with it, they need it every single day. They would love to stop. But as soon as they stop, their life will never be the same. And I don't mean in a good way. Because they decided this is their coping skills. This is what they know how to cope with. And if they stop, they're going to reject themselves when it comes to their liver. They're going to reject themselves when it comes to their kidneys. How this type of stuff actually happens. And there's some people that actually change their life for all the right reasons. These motherfuckers right now that's scared to put a drink in their system for real, for real. I don't want to shortchange myself when it comes to my life. I'm good. No, for real, I'm good. They're scared as to I haven't done a substance in so long. I'm scared of what it will do to my body. And not only that, spell work is really real. How someone will prey on you, and you're not doing it for likes and views or clout chasing. But they will want you to be in this type of mindset spiritually, to be an addict. And because they want you to be an addict, they don't want you to be aware of self-control. They don't want you to be aware of self-discipline. They don't want you to be aware of self-love. They don't want you to be aware of what they're doing around you. I don't live in fear, and I would never hurt myself good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day, and I say that respectfully. How this type of stuff actually happens. How someone can have so much hate and jealousy and envy within them that they will project this type of spell work towards you. To sit there and want you to have your mindset, psych out your free will, your eyesight, your pockets, or because they lack of self-control. And this type of stuff happens every single day. Just because it's not happening in your household, it's happening in someone else's household. It's not easy to say that you're a recovering addict, because it's so hard for certain people to show up every single day and actually mean that, hold on 1 second, I choose me today. It's a lot of people who decided not to go down the route of putting any substance in their bodies. They don't think they're better than anybody, but they're individuals who did change their life for all the right reasons, and never not one time did they think they was better than anybody. But when you truly for your community, you don't have the mindset of having hate, jealousy, and envy towards somebody when you're saying that you're truly healing. And I say that respectfully. Everybody is not meant to be part of your journey, and that's okay. But healing trauma and pain is not easy or an overnight process, and I say that respectfully. It's not. My content is not for everyone. This is educational purposes only, and I say that respectfully. Your life matters, and your voice matters. It does. You know, being gang stalked, you're not doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing when you're actually going through it. Especially when someone hacks your devices, they want to paint you out to be mentally unstable. They want to paint you out to be crazy as you're bugging or whatever the case may be. That's like if Say, for instance, you're on the internet, right? And you're liking certain people post or whatever the case may be. You're liking people post, you're engaging or whatever the case may be. Only for someone to hack your devices or try to get into your account. And all the likes that you did on those people's accounts is removed when you go back to it. So you mean to tell me all those hundreds of videos that you just liked, someone was in the background that hacked your devices to paint you out to be crazy, which you're not. How this type of stuff actually happens. How they want to paint you out to be incoherent. They want to paint you out to be crazy, slow, stupid, and retarded. How they would gang stalk you, and they would send individuals, regardless if he's your next door neighbor in different area codes, telling you every move, what you're wearing, what you're eating, what you got going on a day, what you're wearing, taking pictures of you, recording you without your acknowledgement. And then when you speak up for yourself, the first thing that they want to say is that you're a snitch. And that's never the case. How they have a whole cult going up against you. It's something that you didn't sign up for. But if that cult never went up against you in the first place, you wouldn't have anything to say about them. If they wasn't bullying you from the beginning and saying, oh, nobody's going to believe you, you wouldn't be having this conversation and expressing what you're going through today. And there's certain individuals that don't have a voice to speak up for themselves when it comes to gang stalking, folks hacking their devices or hacking certain personal information when it comes to you. How it took a whole group of people in different communities to just take down one person. And certain individuals like, why would be you? Why you? Why you? Because that's all I had to take was one little birdie. Someone to be jealous and envy and have so much hate. Or someone to say, you know what, I don't like this person. I may need to look into this person. How this type of stuff actually happens. Or because of the fact that someone speaks about God. But everybody speaks about God. But they pick and choose who they want to bully. They pick and choose who they want to kick down. They pick and choose who they want to destroy. How this type of stuff actually happens. So they hack your devices, they gang stalk you to paint you out to be crazy so they can control the narrative, so they get you locked up, put you in the sideboard, they energy harvest off your energy. They try to steal your destiny, which they can do because your heavenly mother, Father God, hold on one second, is truly protecting your anointings when it comes to your blueprint. They project Spork on you. How it takes one person, two people, over 30, 40, 50 people in different zip codes, counties, continents, just to project Spork on one person. How this type of stuff actually happens. It does. Just because it's not going on in your household, it's going on in someone else's household. And they wasn't doing it for likes and views or clout. When they actually spoke up for themselves that day and say, hey, I'm being gang stalked. They didn't have to put on a show to act like they was doing it for likes and views because they was truly mentally going through it. They was truly going through an experiment of a time in their life where someone wanted to paint them out to be an experiment, and because they had lack of self-control, because someone said, hey, let's test dummy this person. How this type of stuff happens. Let's see if they can handle the heat under the water. We're going to bother them. Or you tell someone that you don't want to be bothered with them, and you dismiss yourself in the most healthiest note. Now someone has the mindset of having you robbed. Someone has the mindset of sucking at your free will. Someone has the mindset of gathering up different people in different communities just to take you out. All because you said that you didn't want to be bothered with somebody. All because of the fact that they had motives, because they didn't have good intentions. They projected lust. They act like they was there for you, or they act like they got your back. They trauma bond you to try to get into your personal life, just to use it against you. And to have people go up against you, you didn't have to know them or not. Just so certain people could try to blackmail you within certain communities to kick you down, to ruin your reputation, or to get you locked up and put you in this psych board, or to have you robbed. Did I say that already? How this type of stuff actually happens. Now you got people playing with Spork towards you. And now when you speak up, they're calling you a snitch. They want you to shut up. But if they didn't go up against you in the first place, you wouldn't be having this conversation. It'd be the train of thought for me how when someone bullies somebody and then someone finally speaks up, why is it that the person's a snitch now? Like, ma'am, sir, make it make sense. If you didn't bother the person from the beginning, you wouldn't have to worry about someone saying anything about you. You wouldn't have to worry about a conversation being brought up about what you did to that person. It's a train of thought for me. And then the first thing you're saying is, oh, God is not real. That person worships the devil. That person's a witch. That person's a warlock. That person's this. That person's that. There's good witches and there's bad witches. There's good warlocks and there's bad warlocks. But there's individuals at the end of the day that didn't sign up for certain folks' one-sided ass conversations. I never gave nobody permission to use my creativity, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. No next door neighbor of mine and no area code that I ever give them permission to use my creativity. It's currently May 18th. 2025, and it's currently at 1:44 p.m. I never disrespected nobody. I never said I was going to put my hands on anybody or let alone hurt myself. People pick and choose who they want to bully. You could be playing your music a certain value, but then you got someone on the next side or whatever the case may be. They want to say, you know what? Y'all good over there, but I don't like this person. I can't stand them. I just want them to get out of my community. I hate they freaking guts. How this type of stuff actually happens doesn't matter about someone's culture, religion, sexual orientation, disability, or age. Someone can be screaming at all different types of hours of the morning, but not for long. Someone could be probably speaking up loud. Their TV could be loud, but they pick and choose who they want to bully. They pick and choose who they said, you know what? We're going to get the whole community to sign a petition against this one person so we can take them to the courthouse and get them locked up or put them in a psych board and label them like crazy or slow, stupid, or retarded. How this type of stuff actually happens. And never not one time did this person have to do anything to anybody. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And it be the same people that watches this person every move to gang stalk them, telling they every move and what they doing, what they eating. Did they go to the supermarket today? They project and spoke on an innocent person, and then when an innocent person speaks up, they're dead ass wrong. And they say, oh, God is not real. But God has been always keeping it real. They say call on God when you're ready. But imagine God never left your side. When you knew how to respect yourself, hold on one second. Even days when you couldn't see. You wasn't doing it for likes and views or cloud chasing because God truly knows your heart. You couldn't manipulate God because God was never for sale. They were never understand the existence when it comes to elevation, when it comes to growth, maturity. Because God brought you balance that day. You wouldn't look at your neighbor like competition because you was never competing. They would never understand your intuition that, hold on one second, you was truly worthy. We may not pray the same, but I still know how to respect my neighbor. My content is not for everyone, and I say that respectfully. I do not drink good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, and I say that respectfully. And I do not take any substance, and I say that respectfully. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. But I do know how to be around people and go into certain environments and know at the end of the day that it doesn't attract me. I'm rejected for all the right reasons because God is still protecting me. So someone can blackmail me all day long, but God knows my heart at the end of the day. I'm only doing this video for entertainment purposes only. This is to the genuine ones. Just know that when you choose you, when it's your time to actually do your proper healing, it's not an overnight process. You don't just put the bottle down or put the substance down and say, hey, I'm done. It's patience, time, and day. It's been several years now. The energy is different. And there's certain individuals that I came across in my journey that they say it's been several years now. But all I had to do was take that one time for them to change their life forever. So you got to be mentally strong. And when you're mentally strong, you can overcome anything. When someone says that that you don't have potential. When someone says, hey, You're going to be just like this person. You're going to be just like that person. I can walk into the store and buy a money order, and it's fine, and it's surrounding by nothing but drinks all day long. I don't have the urge, because individuals don't have the urge. Okay, I'm done. You smell it all day long. Don't say, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go stop and get me something because I smell it in the air. It be the train of thought for me. It's called self-control. And to have self-control, to let something go because you don't want to lose you and you're trying to better you mentally, they will never understand why you stand before yourself today when it comes to elevation. The energy is different. There's somebody right now that's dealing with a parent or a loved one that is under alcoholism or dealing with a substance, and they're not doing it for likes and views. And they want somebody to stop. And because they want somebody to stop, that person doesn't have the heart to stop. And it's sad and disgusting to say that it was somebody's child that day. One thing I don't do is run from my past. And always remember, when you have a past, it was a past before your past. So when certain folks try to blackmail you and trying to kick you down because of what happened to you in your journey, they don't like to talk about what previously happened. People like to talk about the good light of them so they won't look like the bad guy of your story. How this type of stuff actually happens. Because there's certain individuals that do it for likes and views and clout chasing, when you was never looking for clout when it came to their existence. And never feel wrong for speaking up for yourself. And I say that respectfully, regardless to who doesn't understand you. Never feel wrong for speaking up for yourself, because when the right community shows up for you, they hear you, they respect you, not to overlook you. Someone says to me, what really broke my heart, and I'm not even gonna lie, it did, because these are some beautiful people. Beautiful people. Someone said I didn't feel beautiful. The people that I attract, they overlooked me. The only thing that they was in mind is as to what I can do for them. And for someone to say that and say, hey, I have to use a substance to make myself emotionally available, that truly hurt me. Because that's somebody's child. That's a child of God. And your beauty starts within. And if someone makes you feel like that at the end of the day, they absolutely are not for you. Because someone that is truly for you will never allow you to mentally and verbally abuse you, regardless to your outside features. Your weight is not like the next person. You're trying to lose weight or whatever the case may be. You're trying to do certain things to lose the weight. You can't lose it. You was always brought up big boned or whatever the case may be. I don't mean no disrespect. Something happened to you in your journey, how you probably, got scars, or, you might have got third grade to burn, and something happened to you as a child, or something happened to you as an adult, and you don't feel beautiful anymore. But then to hear for someone to say, oh, they only come around me when it's convenient for them, that's sad. Because nobody should emotionally abuse you. Nobody should verbally, physically abuse you when it's convenient for them. And especially when you're being genuine and kind and respectful and loyal and honest. And, it should be no reason why someone decides to say, you know what, I want to have you robbed. Because you have lack of insecurities. You may be in your time in your life where you don't understand your own identity right now. Because everybody has there is somebody in somebody's family that dealt with this type of stuff. They may not emotionally talk about it. It's certain things that they hide because they don't know how to express themselves. But somebody's actually going through this. They don't feel beautiful. And you'd be so surprised to know that someone who is truly beautiful on the outside, they feel ugly because of what they've done to people. So they don't even see their own beauty on the outside. And then when certain individuals look at them, they be like this. If you don't go have a see some fucking way, your little weird having ass nose check up, ain't no fucking wrong with you. But that's on the outside appearance. How this type of stuff actually happens. You know the popular kid? Well, I never understood that. Didn't matter how old they was, huh? How they dealt with so much depression. And because they dealt with so much depression, they felt so ugly. And then everybody else on the outside trying to look in is like, how could you feel so ugly when you have all the features that certain individuals will wish they had? How this type of stuff actually happened. It happens. You know, your beauty starts within. And when your beauty starts within, that confidence on the outside, oh, it look good, it look good, it look good. It really do. It really does. Because can't nobody tell you that you don't love you. It's not that you're being cocky, you think you're better than somebody. It started within. And when you start within loving you, you gotta wear well. And when you wear well, all the right people will truly be for you. They won't have no hate within them. They won't have no jealousy within them. They won't have no mindset of throwing acid in your face. They won't have the mindset of, shortchanging you when it comes to your life. They wouldn't have that mindset towards you. And I say that respectfully. They won't. Because they'll be too busy loving themselves. And when they're too busy loving themselves, they don't have room to be kicking their neighbor down. They actually will acknowledge their neighbor, like, you know what? That outfit is fly. You got some nice kicks on. I like your hair. I like your creativity. You different. You got your little jazzy going on. I like that. How when the right people walk into your life, they don't have malicious intentions when they give you a compliment. And it's sad and disgusting to see how nowadays giving someone a compliment turns into hate, jealousy, and envy. Or nowadays, just acknowledging someone turns into jealousy, envy, or hate. How this type of stuff actually happens. It does. You know, that innocent person that approached that other person or whatever the case may be, they didn't have that in their mindset of having malicious intentions when they acknowledged their neighbor that day. They didn't have that in their mindset. They didn't have in a mindset of thinking that they'll be gang stalked because they acknowledged somebody. They didn't have in a mindset because they decided to come out their comfort zone and acknowledge somebody that someone would be sitting there trying to rob them or something like their free will. They didn't think that. They didn't think that because they acknowledged somebody that someone will be projecting spell on them. They didn't think that someone will be hacking their devices or gang stalking them or trying to destiny swipe with them or energy harvest off their energy. They didn't think that would happen. All because they acknowledge somebody. Or because they decide to come out their comfort zone. You know, they say, oh, come out your comfort zone a little bit. But it's like as soon as you come out your comfort zone, it's like it gives you that red flag as to why you stayed in your comfort zone. Because you understand how people operate. And you understand that everybody's not for you, but you still took a chance on allowing yourself to be open-minded to expressing yourself to the community, being your authentic self to the community, and only for you to be rejected by your own community. how this type of stuff actually happens. It should be no reason why anybody should be walking from point A to Z and someone has the mindset of having jealousy and envy and hate towards the next person, or because someone ties they shoe differently. It didn't matter about someone's tax bracket at the end of the day. It shouldn't matter. And it's more disgusting to see that someone can have less than you and you behave they freaking guts. Or someone winning lotto ticket with self-love. And because that was that person's winning lotto ticket, self-love, you want to destroy their image. You want them to become their worst enemy. You want them to have the mindset of hating themselves, because that's what you're projecting from yourself onto them. Because that's how you feel about yourself. Because if you actually loved yourself and you actually wanted to show up for you, you wouldn't have that mindset of kicking the next person down. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone, and that's okay. But healing trauma and pain is not a race, overnight process, and it damn sure ain't no competition. It's not. And you are beautiful, and you are handsome. And the most disturbing thing that I heard, I wanted to touch base on this, about domestic violence. Not everybody has the strength to walk away. They don't. And you can't tell somebody how to live their life when it comes to domestic violence. It's okay if you give them advice or whatever the case may be, but you can't tell somebody when to walk away from somebody. But this story actually, it breaks my heart to know that someone with lack of self-control can do something to somebody that they say they love. And because someone decided to say, I had enough, and for someone to say, you know what, I'm taking my kids and I'm going. And for a mother or a father, because it can go both ways, to leave a situation. And for someone to say, you know what, if I have to leave my children behind to save my life, I'm not proud of the decision I'm making right now. But as long as I know I was able to save my life and get the help for my children for them to get out that situation, the energy is different. Because sometimes in certain situations, you have the parent that may hurt the children, then you have sometimes a parent that won't hurt the children. But in this circumstances, the parent wasn't willing to hurt the children. Either way how it went, the mother or the father, they went in a domestic violence situation. All I had to take was for that one night. Someone was insecure. And because someone was insecure, someone decided to say, you know what? If you're not going to be with me, you're not going to be with nobody else. Someone decided to throw acid on the other partner. So someone won't look at somebody as they're beautiful. And how this type of stuff actually happens. When you say that you want to walk away from somebody, it should be no reason why you're throwing acid at somebody. It should be no reason why you're taking somebody free will. It should be no reason why you're trying to have somebody robbed. It should be no reason why you're trying to get somebody locked up or put them in a cycle, because you have lack of self-control, because you don't want somebody else to love somebody the way they was willing to love you. How this type of stuff happens. It does. Not only do the parents need help when it comes to healing trauma and pain now the children just endure this, and now they need help with healing trauma and pain so they won't become these people in the future. Children it became the norm in certain children household. They see the mother and father being aggressive toward each other, putting their hands on each other, and then the first thing you say is, "Oh, whatever stays in this household, don't let it leave out the household." But now, when this child becomes an adult, now that same mindset is being projected in their household, and it becomes the norm of someone hurting someone else's child. Not everybody's child turns out this way, but it's a 50-50 chance because it becomes the norm. And it doesn't matter about someone's sexual orientation, disability, age, or religion or culture, that this type of stuff actually happens. When someone says, I'm leaving you alone, when someone says, I'm walking away, let them walk away. Let them walk away. It should be no reason why you plotting or have them robbed. It should be no reason why you plotting to have them take their free will. It should be no reason why you trying to change their identity because you're having a crisis, because you have the mindset of being jealous and envy, and you have hate within you. Because only a person that's mentally unstable will have that mindset of projecting that on an innocent person. You said that you loved them. If you loved them so much, if you said you cared about them, why would you project that on them? And it should be no reason why you acting like you're in a relationship with somebody or acting like you're investing your time and day into somebody only just to paint them out to be slow, stupid, and retarded and just to bring harm towards them. But then you sit there and say you're not a girls, you're not a dudes, or whatever the case may be. But then you have this mindset of gathering up people in different communities just to go up against one person because you lack self-control. Now you're trying to find ways to plot on somebody. Now you're trying to find ways to hurt somebody. Now you're trying to find ways, hold on one second, nobody's going to believe that person. Because what you did, shout at the end of the day, you wouldn't want it done to you. One thing I don't do is run from my past. That's one thing I do not do. And God is not for sale. You know, it's sad that people will try to paint you out to be somebody you're truly not, especially when you don't take accountability for your actions. But you know one thing for certain, two things for sure, God saw everything. The energy is different. Someone doesn't want to be bothered with you no more. So now you sit here and project magic on them, do spell work on them, voodoo, witchcraft, in a toxic way. You projecting beauty spells on them. You gang stalking them, hacking their devices, acting like they bugging because they speaking up for themselves. How this type of stuff actually happens. All because someone says, you know what? I don't want to be bothered with you no more. It's one thing, a disagreement, words just being expressed, or whatever the case may be. Cool, fine and dandy. But once you have in your mindset when it comes to your mental health that you lack, and you have in your mindset that you want to have somebody robbed, or you want to say something free will, the energy is different. Because now you want to bring harm towards somebody's life. Because you lack self-control. You know, the doctor still hasn't figured out the diagnosis for this yet. But they actually are doing a study on it right now. And hopefully soon we get diagnosis. And I say that respectfully. Because in your right mind, you thought it was the norm to project spell work on an innocent person that knew how to respect you. And it's so disgusting to see that individuals don't even have to know somebody. And for someone to be a follower instead of a leader and listen to someone's low IQ score regards to the innocent person's tax bracket. Someone's trying to better their life. You want to try to shortchange them when it comes to their eyesight, their vision, their time and day, low in their pockets. Because you got self-control issues. You lack self-control when it comes to discipline. How this type of stuff actually happens. How it takes a whole community to go up against one person. That person do anything to you. They ain't disrespect you. They ain't bring harm towards you. You picked and choose how you want to bully somebody. Or because someone started to speak up for themselves about certain things. Oh, when they walk past, make sure the music is not too loud. Make sure your TV is down. Make sure this. Make sure that. Make sure this. Make sure that. Make sure we're not making too much noise. Because we're going to plot against them. We got a petition so we can take them to court. How this type of stuff actually happens. It may not be happening in your household, but it's happening in someone else's household. I'm about to wrap this video up. I am Naya G. Love Respect. Healing, trauma, and pain is not a race or an overnight process, and I say that respectfully. When it comes to substances, regardless of what it is, your voice matters. It does. It's certain individuals that lived in fear for so long because they couldn't speak up for themselves. They didn't feel like they had the right community for them. They had the community that was, they thought they had the right community around them that laughed at them, that thought they was funny. But when it comes to the internal healing, trauma, and pain, they ain't know how to show up for you. But I say this respectfully. When the right community is truly for you, they hear you, they respect you, and they love you, and they don't have malicious intentions, and they want you to find peace within and better your mental health. And they want you to actually love yourself and operate on the mindset of you are worthy. My content is not for everybody. And I wanted to say this too, because this is a topic that's been a little high value when it comes to mothers and fathers that are not addicts, that probably never had a drink in their system a day in their life. How you become part of the system now because now your child or children are taken from your household and you don't have the proper support team behind you to have a voice when it comes to getting your children back, because you have a cult or you have this person, that person, because they lack self-control and they wanted to destroy you to get you locked up or put you in a psych ward and try to paint you out to be an unfit parent. Or they try to strip your finances away, or they try to do things to you so you won't be able to survive to take care of your children. Your voice matters. And I say that respectfully, because no mother or father, and especially someone that shows up for their babies and fights every single day, it's not a day that you do not go to bed and you shed a tear. You're getting better with time, but it still hurts to know at the end of the day that someone came into your household and took your children out of your household. Everybody's walk of life is not the same. And there's nothing funny about someone having their kids stripped away from them. There's nothing funny about that. There's nothing funny about getting a parent locked up or putting them in the psych ward when that parent's a good parent. But there are some parents at the end of the day that would do something to someone else's child in the most unhealthiest way, but God saw everything. And then when that innocent person speaks up for themselves, regardless of how old that child is, because that is somebody's child, that's a child of God. And when that child speaks up for themselves, no, they're not a snitch. No, they're not crazy. That's what you wanted to label them. But God saw everything that you try to do in your power to try to have them robbed, to try to have them technically free will, because you was able to cover up that last case. You was able to have the proper people in your community to make sure, hold on one second, you wouldn't be painted out to be the villain. You know the person who actually did it? How the last person that you probably shortchanged them with their life, they're not able to speak up for themselves today. But then you came across someone, hold on one second. I'm going to blackmail this person because nobody's going to believe them. I'm going to blackmail this person. Yeah, they talk about God all day long. But we don't believe in God in our community. Nobody care about that bullshit. We pray to who we pray to. We play with sport on our time and our day. Ain't nobody going to believe you. God believes them. How when you hack the devices, you projected spell work, you gang stalked them, and it took different people in different communities just to go up against one person. And then when someone speaks up for themselves, now you want to paint yourself out to be this superhero, when you was the one that was antagonizing a person for them to speak up for themselves. You wanted to make sure that their voice did not matter. how this type of stuff actually happens. It may not be happening in your household, but it's happening in someone else's household. And I say this respectfully to the innocent people. Your voice matters. It's one thing taking accountability for your actions, then to hide behind your hands with spell work, trying to manipulate a situation. Hold on 1 second. Always be yourself. And you are worthy of having your child in your care. Regardless of how many years you've been apart from your child, you are worthy of being that mother and father of that baby. It should be no reason why a system went against you in the first place, or because of lack of self-control, because they wanted to hurt you. And because they wanted to hurt you, it gave you room and opportunity to get you together mentally. You would never be your perfect self vision of yourself because you're still traumatized. Why you? But you are a good mother and a father because you never stop fighting for your child. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. It's not, and that's okay. It's certain parents that have a title of being a parent, but don't mean they fulfill those shoes. It's parents that have the title, good day, bad day, and misunderstanding day. They still show up for their children, regardless to how old their child is. When the world's against them, they got their babies back. When they're having a bad day, they just had a breakup, they got their babies back. To show them the proper emotional support, they have the proper emotional support team by their side. But not everybody's like that. Everybody's household is not the same. So you have to be mindful and wise when judging someone else's household at the end of the day, when you don't understand that, hold on 1 second, you're a parent too. But the way you carry your household is totally different from this person's household because you wouldn't do what they do. You wouldn't reject your child. Regardless of what you're going through mentally, you will make sure you show up for your child. Your child tell you that they're hungry. You're not asking them why they don't got no money. You're not asking them why this, why that, why this, why that, why this, why that. You're going to feed your child. Not everybody else is the same. My content is not for everybody, and I say that respectfully. When it comes to my creativity, and I say this respectfully, I get it from my Heavenly Mother, Father, and God. And I never gave nobody permission to use my creativity. You can shadow ban me all day long, but my content is not for everyone. When the right community walks into your life, when God sends them, they don't have hate within them. They're not trying to blackmail you, project spell work towards you, gang stalk you, hack your devices, or destiny swipe with you. They don't have that mindset. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding. And I say that respectfully. They don't. They see you, they hear you, and they respect you. They don't have the mindset of getting you locked up or putting you in a sideboard. Because respect will be a two-way street, regardless to what anybody is going through. I know how to stay in my lane, and you know how to stay in your lane. You're not for me, but that's okay. You having a misunderstanding day, I still know how to be your biggest cheerleader. When the right people walk into your life, respect is a two-way street. And I say that respectfully. This is for entertainment purposes only, and I say that respectfully. I do not drink, and I do not take any substances. For the last goddamn time, there's a chain over me. Have a good day. I'm not your genuine love and spite. And when it comes to my creativity, I work alone, and I say that respectfully. You know, gang stalking is really real, and it's sad and disgusting because you acknowledge somebody. They will sit there and have your next door neighbor in different area codes telling you every moves or what you're saying in your apartment or what you got going on or whatever the case may be. Or they will even try to hack your devices to lie on you to blackmail you. all because of the fact that you acknowledge somebody. And then they will try to paint you out to be the villain of their story because they don't want people to believe you. But a mature person, a man or woman, that acts their body weight, not their shoe size, they know how to think for themselves. And they're far from a follower because they're truly a leader. That is just different. We hold it the same, regardless of our tax bracket, regardless of how we live in situations. It's certain individuals, when it comes to their living situations, they're really trying to get their life together. And never allow someone to make you feel bad because of your living situation. And I say that respectfully, and especially when you're trying to get you together mentally, when you're trying to do better for yourself. But because you're going to have certain folks in the background trying to kick you down. I never gave nobody permission to use my voice over on anybody's videos, good day, bad days, or misunderstanding days. And I never gave nobody permission to use my creativity as their own to make money off of it. I never gave nobody permission to use what I experienced in my life to make money off of it. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. And I say that respectfully. Today is currently May 18, 2025. And I'm closing this video out at 2:19. Have a safe year, day, evening, weekend. You matter, you're worthy. Protect your energy and protect you and your family. Be mindful and wise when going to certain tarot readers. You're dealing with karmic sometimes, and you'll be so surprised. What they would do is go to someone else's page and take they notes. Good thing, nice to know you're inspired. But when you're truly tapped in, you wouldn't give someone false information. When you really tapped in, you wouldn't mislead somebody. And you wouldn't try to dim somebody's light to blackmail them in the process because you didn't want someone to see somebody's light. How this type of stuff actually happens because certain individuals will look at you like competition. And because they say, oh, I'm trying to get a couple of dollars, I want to dim your light. Because they don't want certain folks to see the real individual's light. When it comes to that real tarot reader, when it comes to that real medium, when it comes to that real psychic. Because everybody does not use their gifts the same. They don't. Some people use it for the dark. That means not good. Some people use it for the good light. That means good intentions. Everybody is not the same. Be mindful and wise when wasting your money, let alone time and day, on these individuals. And I say that respectfully. And when you're doing God's job, it's not about the money. It's not. But it's about helping those that's truly for you. We all don't operate the same. And God sees everything, and God is not for sale. And God has never been for sale. When I say the word God, I do not worship the devil. Good day, bad day, or misunderstanding day. You could disrespect me all day long. You could try to blackmail me all day long. But God is real. And my content is not for everyone. And never feel wrong for speaking up for yourself. And only feel you have to take a whole community to go up against one person just for someone to be blackmailed so a certain community could look like superheroes. God saw everything. God saw everything. Down to when they try to use your storyline to dim your light, to shut you up. They try to shadow ban you. They dig up your past to do humiliating rituals towards you. To make you feel like you wasn't worthy of choosing yourself. Made you feel like you were supposed to live in fear because nobody was going to hear you. They wanted you to be a crash out. We all don't operate the same. We don't. It's individuals that, regardless of what they've been through and their upbringing, they still know how to respect their neighbor. Good day, bad day, and misunderstanding day. The energy is different. My content is not for everyone. It's not. Nobody should be homeless. Nobody should have to worry about not having food to eat. It's a train of thought for me. How folks hide behind spell work, but God saw your intuitions. And it sure enough wasn't good. I don't live in fear, good day, bad day, or misunderstanding, and I say that respectfully. My content is not for everyone. It's not. Misunderstood and loved by you, far from a hater. What about you? Misunderstood and judged by you, far from a hater. What about you? Love yourself, better yourself, never dim your light. Go, you neighbor, catch your blind sides. Unlimited, who would have knew? God would have showed you not to overlook you. You didn't have to shortchange your neighbor. Hold on 1 second. It makes them uncomfortable when it comes to sight and day. They see you elevating, being confident to go with it. Hold on 1 second. You have to ruin someone's reputation when you have to say someone's name. You didn't have to say somebody's name. How people look at you like competition when you was never competing. How self-love looks truly good on you. Hold on 1 second. You was being patient. Time and day, understanding your favorite truly became your reality. Didn't matter your tax bracket that day. Understanding your worth when it comes to growth, actually maturing, acting your body weight, but never understanding your shoe size today. And don't live in your reality when it comes to acting your shoe size no more, because you actually went within not to do yourself wrong. Healing trauma and pain wasn't an overnight process. Being your authentic self, when you said that you didn't have potential, but you wasn't trying to fit in with your neighbor. You just knew how to respect your neighbor. That energy is different. We're not the same, but I still don't respect my neighbor. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. I'm not your genuine love respect, and I do not work with nobody or deal with third-party conversations when it comes to my creativity, and I never did, and I say that respectfully. You know, people hacking people's devices is really real, or hacking people's certain personal informations like emails and stuff like that. That's really real. But you say that you grown, you saying that you real, talking about you healing, talking about you ain't got time for somebody's bullshit at the end of the day, but you try to shortchange an innocent person when it comes to their mental health. They be the train of thought for when your mask fell off, someone didn't have to say your name. How you was operating on jealousy and envy and hate. Talking about ain't nobody gonna believe you anyway because you're gonna step on someone's toes and disrespect them out loud to see them frown. So they won't so certain folks won't acknowledge them. But God never overlooked that child of God. The energy is different. We don't pray the same, but I still don't respect my neighbor. Always be yourself when someone says that you don't have potential. Because when the right people walk into your life, they see you, they hear you, not to overlook you. They don't look at you like competition. They don't have hate in their vein. That energy is different. We all not the same. Peace and respect, your neighbor. Stop about humanity where they don't dim your light. Go, you neighbor, don't dim your light. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. People would try to blackmail you of you being your authentic self when you never try to hurt yourself or others around you. So never allow someone to make you feel like you have to live in fear when you speak up for yourself, because your voice does matter. It's a lot of individuals who dealt with gang stalking or dealt with situations in their life, and they feel like their voice does not matter because they feel like they speak up for themselves. All that's going to happen is they'll be shadow banned, or they'll be locked up or put in a sideboard, and they'll be labeled as crazy, slow, stupid, and retarded. When you want to deal with that energy, it's different. You're mad and you're worthy. Don't give up on yourself. You're mad and you're worthy, and you are respected by all the right people that's truly for you. I'm not your genuine love respect. Always be yourself, and I say that respectfully. God is not for sale. Loving yourself is not a crime. I'll be going live a little bit later on this evening. Thank you for your time. Have a good day.